You're working with a lot of students yourself. Can you tell us a little bit about your place in the industry and some of the stuff you're doing?
Sure, yeah. I can kind of give you a little background. My kind of tour into the games world was a little circuitous route. I went through about a decade of working in the industry in the legal field. So it wasn't straight into the games. It was working on doing accident reconstructions and animating plane crashes and such. And I started getting into teaching and I started doing more game jams. I can show you a couple examples of that as well. But that was really um, my lead into the games world, and I really enjoyed the community. I really enjoyed being able to produce something in a very quick turnaround. And so now I'm teaching artists and sometimes programmers how to make games.
Yeah, and that quick turnaround is definitely something that we're going to talk about later throughout the industry. But you're talking about a game jam, so why don't you tell us what a game jam is, and we'll take a look at some of the footage from that right after.
Wonderful. Yeah. So I've done about 4 or 5 different game jams. And essentially, what happens is that you get a bunch of people together with different skills. There are people who are, skilled in art and animation or narrative or programming and development. And some people who may have a full-time career in doing web programming or front-end development. And it's just kind of time to play. And you have a set time limit. It could be 24 or 48 hours. And I created a couple games with a group of very talented people. One of them was called Joe versus Volcano, which I was pleased to put together. Doing an isometric game where you jump to the music. This next one you're looking at now, we took the idea of Overcooked, which is a popular video game, and CRISPR technology, and we kind of merged those together. And we made this game in about 20 hours or so. And Scott Lemke was my amazing programmer who he and I put together this game that we actually played on the physical Nintendo Entertainment System. So using the modifier, the challenger of trying to keep it simple, he had purchased a device that allowed you to put in a little micro SD card, and we got to play it on the original NES. The animation in the beginning showed a little double helix, and that's something I created in Maya and put it into AE Sprite or A Sprite, and then he put it into the code. It might be the first time that it would ever went from a Maya to NES workflow.
Wow, that is a little bit 2 decades working together, huh?
I know, right? And so when you have that limited time to make a game, you really are encouraged to figure out what's possible, and it might not be complete, it might not be perfection, but you have that opportunity just to try something new or learn something that's not in your immediate skill set.
Kirie, what can you tell us about the teams that you work in?
Oh my gosh. I feel like I'm within a team, within a team, within a team, within a team. There's a lot of different people that work on a game. I would have to reach my arm like Mr. Fantastic all the way around the world twice to reach the person who comes up with the idea for the next game. A lot of people work together. There's so many moving parts to deliver a game, and which is why it's such hard work, which is why there's so many hours put into it, because it's really hard, especially to present what people are expecting now. Like, nobody wants bad graphics anymore. Now they've seen good ones. Unless you're making another Deadly Premonition, no one wants bad graphics, So people really have to work to do all the animations, to do all the textures, to make sure that it works coding wise. There's a lot of different moving parts and a lot of different brains that work together to deliver an end product.
Right, and especially with the videos that you're making too, you're telling a story and you're showing an experience. Mm-hmm. So how does communication work? Where is there somebody with a vision, or where does how does that video come together?
Yeah, so that's a great question. I really love how it works, actually. It's a very, very similar to how a small scale film production would work. We have our producer who like hears from studio, like, this is what we're looking for. The producer gives a pitch to basically kind of our director, who's my boss, our manager. And she's like, okay, I see your vision. She makes a shot list for us. And then we go at it and we create the product that everyone's envisioning, and we bring it all together into one. We all review it, we make changes, and then eventually the trailer's out.